Stream. There we go. Now it is. There we go. We're live. Let's get it on now. I am fired up, my friend. All righty. So I thought I was going to be down in South Florida. Well, welcome. All righty. Live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Sounds a little weird, but welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho, brought to you by the Sportscast. Today is August 26, 2021. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to Sportscast and all your channels, YouTube, Periscope, and iTunes. We have a Sportscast app. And please go to your purple little podcast on your iPhone, type in Jersey Boy Sportscast. You're going to see Byron and my face. Click on it, subscribe, put a review, and you'll help us out. I really appreciate it. You can also visit thesportscast.net where it's hosting all of Byron's data, all the work he's put in. He's put in a tremendous job. So I'm just saying, those of you that are fantasy football people, I would definitely look at Byron's information because so far he's pretty much on the money. If anything, he's got them ranked so you can pick and choose who you want. So don't forget, go to iTunes and download our iOS app. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit notifications so you know when we're on. We are live right now on Facebook and on YouTube. So we're getting ready to go. Byron, I'm going to ask you, but you already know what I'm going through right now. So what's up with the weather there in Philly?
It's just as hot, man. It's hot here. It was 102. It's been like over 100 the last 3 days.
Really, man? Yeah. It's hot here, dude. And I already told you. Make sure I got my Giants shirt on, showing here. I already told you, man. I'm sleeping like old school Dan boy style. I got like a fan right next to the window.
Well, at least now you ain't gonna worry about somebody climbing through the window like you would in Perth Amboy.
Yeah, but remember what kind of state this is, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, bang, bang, shoot them up.
Yes, right. Stand your ground, brother. I don't know what I did to this thing. I was going back and forth. But, yeah. And Amber didn't do that. I was surprised. But, I go to bed knowing that I got a laser pointer, if you know what I'm saying.
It's all about peace and love, man. Peace and love.
About peace. What are you talking about? You carried for a long time. So, anyways, it's hot. My compressor broke down. I've been here since I think it broke down Saturday night or Saturday, and we had to wait till the guy to come on Monday or Sunday. And everybody left to a family's house. Not even the dogs are here. But my son is in the hospital. He had an abscess. I just got back, and they just got out of the OR, and it's pretty easy. So he's pretty good, but I'll pick him up tomorrow, and then we're going to go to a family's house. So at least I want to be there for a weekend.
They abandoned you, man?
What's that?
They abandoned you? Everybody abandoned you and just left you in the hot house?
Yeah, but you know what? That's something, you listen to me. I hate hot houses, but I don't know what it was being home alone. Like, dude, I was like, y'all can stay. I did whatever I want. Before someone came, the dishes were clean, the house is clean. And not only that, it's like, I don't get how we get all these dishes because I'm home, I get a dish, I clean it and put it away. When the family's here, I come home and there's a bunch of dishes in the sink. It drives me nuts. So anyways, that's where my situation is. I'm a little bit hot, got the fan out, but I've been in the pool every like 10 minutes. I'm going to jump in the pool before I get out.
Your Perth Amboy background is gone now because we didn't have that back then.
No, we had to find a friend that had a pool. So, by the way, speaking of a friend that had a pool, and it's not funny, let me share. Let's see if I can find this real quick. Johnny Gutierrez, which is on our all-star athletes for Perth Amboy, who's a phenomenal. When I say baseball player, I mean the brother kid. He was a left fielder, but man, he had a stick. I mean, he got a scholarship to Springfield. Now he's in Miami, and his brother Paul Gutierrez, who's a fan of ours, who comes on. Paul, if you're listening, shout out to Paul Gutierrez and Johnny Gutierrez. dear good friends of mine. Their dad passed away. And so I'm gonna see if I can show a picture real quick. But let me tell you something. That was the sweetest, young, kind man, I mean, you could ever meet. Came from Cuba. He owned the hardware store right there on State and Smith Street. Remember that hardware store?
Yeah.
Right by where Ali's the bar was. Ali's bar right there. Remember across the street?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's where where's his picture? That's where he that is where he owned that hardware store. He owned that building. Wow. I mean, and you're talking about the father came, just directly from Cuba. And actually his father started our real estate venture when I was 24. Me, Johnny, and another friend of ours bought our first house. He lent us down payment and wasn't expecting anything, just getting his money back. And we got a great deal. And 6 months later, we were able to return his money with like a 20% interest. He said that was the best investment he ever made. He wanted us to keep going. Okay. We gave him 20% in 6 months, but he's the one who got us started. So, I feel pretty proud to have owned my first house at 24, 2 years out of college. So I just want to be able to just show you real quick right here. This is mama. Okay. And they're one of their granddaughters. And then here's the boys. This is Johnny, baseball player. This is brother, Paul. And this Edberto Gutierrez, I just know him as Pops. Let me tell you, great man, some great kids. And I just want to just shout out, show a little bit of pictures of him. That's Paul's beautiful wife. That's Paul and his dad. And I got nothing but love. That's why I wasn't here last week. I was there. So Paul Gutierrez, that's Johnny's son, Jonathan. He's a year older than my son, and just God bless him, man. He was just a great man. All right, we got somebody coming in, so I just want to say I want to be able to say hello. All right, so we got a gentleman coming in. Here's Jeff. Let's see what we got. Jeff, you there? Just the Dallas cat. Oh, even better. I got something for you. Jeff. I'm gonna introduce you in a second. Give me a couple minutes. Oh, you got your Dallas stuff on. Oh, Byron, where's your stuff?
Right here.
I was disappointed last week. Nobody had any gear on except me. So I'm I'm okay with you wearing that shirt.
What do you mean you okay with me? That's my show.
Upside down.
I can hit remove real fast. So
there you go. That's about what Marion be really.
I got something for you though. I'm excited. You don't understand. I'm fired up. I can't wait. So Jeff, we're waiting for another gentleman coming on too. But let me get a little bit about with Byron. Byron, you're all hot in there. We already talked about that. Byron's got some power ratings that we're gonna go over. I don't know if you saw that, Jeff. But Jeff, I didn't get a chance to get a bio. So real quick, obviously, we know you're a Giant fan. So why don't you give us a little bio about yourself, a little short bio. I always like to introduce people that are going to be guest hosts on our thing. So welcome anyways. We welcome everybody, especially we like NFC. So hopefully the other gentleman, Aaron, joins us. As I understand, he's a Washington fan. So now all we need is an Eagle fan and we'll be in good shape. So give us a little intro for yourself, brother.
I thought you were also a Washington fan. I thought that's
you crazy.
I thought I'm sorry. That's what Aaron told me.
Aaron, did you see me? Was I on the show last week?
No. We were doing something else and he said, yeah, the guy who missed last week apparently is a big Washington fan, so he wanted to have me back.
Nah,
and I'm like, all right, cool.
This is Giant. This is Giant. This Big Blue. It's called the Jersey Boy Sports Talk. You think we're gonna be a Washington fan? Come on, man.
I'm from Canada. What do I see?
No wonder. Even worse.
That's why I support North America's team.
That's why he's fans. That's why you're a Dallas fan.
North American team.
Jeff, give us a little bio. Replying, George from you got Joey Barajas from Tulsa.
Yeah, military guy.
Is that a Giants hat? Yeah, Byron, you got a Giants hat on? No,
No,
it's
it's
a Tulsa hat.
Tulsa, right went to school, Tulsa.
It's a Tulsa hat. I got my Yankee hat because my Yankees got to win one more game. They got to win 2 more games to break a record. Jeff, give us a little bio on yourself real quick.
Real quick.
Besides being,
Yeah. Basically,
give us a bio.
Basically, I did send this over, but it was probably real too late for you to see it. I'm an avid gamer and sports guy. I've been gaming and football fan since the mid 70s, and that's when the love of my Cowboys began. Mid 70s. Look, my boy, right behind me, right up there, right there.
Oh man, we lost you. See, are you there, Byron?
Yeah, I'm still here.
See what happens to Dallas fans, Dallas kids. You know, Jerry Jones got all that money. Y'all ain't got no good internet.
NFC league, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. My spare time, I can be found on the internet gaming.
That was good. What kind of games you play?
I do a little bit of retro games, so stuff on the PlayStation 1 and 2, and then I play more current stuff on Google Stadia.
All right. There's the Washington fan. I am so fired up today. Y'all didn't know who I am. You're going to know who I am now. So get ready, boys. I got the stats. You guys better be on your game. That's all I got to tell you. Jeff, thanks for giving that little bit of bio. Jeff, I know you guys, Aaron, I know you guys sent it, but it was late. I was actually at the hospital, so I rushed back.
Okay.
Everything is okay. It wasn't me and my son's okay. Thank God.
Okay.
And right now with the hospital, only one person at a time could go in, so my wife is there. Right?
Yeah.
But I prepared for you guys during the day. Number one, I apologize. So I always like my guest hosts, and you guys are always welcome, especially Byron. You know, as long as Byron says, if Byron says no, it's okay. If he goes, yeah, they're all right, that means it's yes. So Byron either doesn't like you or you're all right. So
I'm shocked that he okayed a Cowboys fan. Sorry about that. It slipped. I was.
Aaron, give us a little background about yourself. By the way, you got to get that Indian off your background, man. I'll get us in trouble, man.
All right.
You better take that off. It should be, isn't your name Team WTF?
They don't have a team name right now. Is that better? There we go.
I thought it was WTF. Yeah, you got to put your head in that face there.
All right, there we go. That's going to be the face of the team. Hold on.
So give us.
Worst case, I'll just switch it to something else.
There we go. About yourself.
There we go. Yeah, I grew up. I was born in Florida, raised in Virginia. I've been Broward County. I lived there and down in the Keys, around the Keys area for a couple of years before my dad and mom moved us up to Virginia. And I've been there till 2012 when I moved to Minnesota. Born and bred Washington fan. Ups and downs I've seen. I was that, like I said, I had sent it in the bio, but I was there for when Washington faced, they got annihilated by San Francisco with Jerry Rice and Steve Young. And I was there to watch them destroy the Dallas at the last game in RFK and storm the field. So my grandma got a piece of the turf briefly. She had to knock some people over to rip some of the ground out. I did football camps as a kid. My grandpa sent me through for all the ones that were hosted by Washington. So I met Daryl Green, Art Monk, Dexter Manley, Sonny, Sam, met Champ Bailey.
Met Son of Sam?
Sonny and Sam. Okay. Ones that used to do one of them used to do broadcasting. So I believe one of them is off the air now because
you're an avid sports fan, I take it. And
yeah.
So when your team got annihilated by Jerry Rice and those teams, you just got to remember though, it was either San Francisco during that time that won a Super Bowl, or it was the NFC East that won a Super Bowl. I got to see Jerry Rice play. It was only them and NFC East. That was it.
I mean, yeah, exactly. But I got to see Jerry Rice play. So and Steve Young on their way to a Super Bowl. It's not like that wasn't the first time Washington had gotten blown out. I watched when they got obliterated by
Raiders beat them too.
Patriots destroyed them. I think 50-something to 6. We may have gotten a mercy touchdown at one point It was one of Brady's Super Bowl runs, but I remember that game. That was
My boy Billy Brown's on. We got Billy Brown. Just so you know, Billy Brown's a Cowboy fan. All right. You know, we got Billy Brown. We got a boy Mark. We got a Jerry. Even got drones. I don't know who's Jerry. Jerry, what's Jerry's last name? Jerry, you got to tell me yesterday. Yeah, I would love to see Washington Dine have Dark running for his life. I have no idea what that means. But anyways, all right. So two things. Let me just go off of what you got here, Aaron. Number one, I'm in Broward County right now. I'm a Jersey boy, right? So I'm actually in Broward County in Pembroke Pines. And you grew up in Minnesota, you said? Brian Payton.
No. I grew up in Virginia.
Minnesota.
Yes, live in Minnesota. Yeah.
Byron played for Minnesota Vikings. So he was there when Byron's our resident professional. And you see how big he is? It's because the camera's really behind him. That's why. My brother's like 6'6", 295 pounds. I'm giving him some like off football weight, but that's a big boy right there. And so we're excited to, they told me to have you. Santiago asked if you guys come. I said, look, I'll take NFC East boys anytime. Number one, this is a debate show. Everybody's gonna have their opinions. You got to keep it clean, right? But get ready, okay? Because they told me that you guys. I said there are only two guests. Well, who are they? And they go a Washington and a Dallas fan. I go, what? Oh man! And then one of you talk smack about my Giants about 5-12, right, Byron?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Get ready, because I got some stats for you. You need to understand, you guys are probably younger than I am, and I got stuff for days. So, all right, well, let's get started first with, let's get together. Byron puts a lot of really good stuff together. I think that's what started you guys. And then you didn't have the update, so you were hitting it. Now, let me tell you how some of that started. Byron, I think it started off when we got pissed off about the quarterback duel, right? And then you just went nuts. All right, so let me give you a little bit of history about the data Byron's been putting together. And Jeff, you're a gamer. But and for you too, Aaron, if you like fantasy football, I would definitely go to Sportscast and download some of Byron's stuff, because he's literally lit up the entire. But you don't have to pick and everything or agree what he has, but he put every player you could possibly think of combination. So the way this started, and Byron's done a phenomenal job. And at first, when he started, he goes, I'm tired. I ain't gonna do anything. I just want to be on the show. Now that brother's an analyst, knows the stats. He's got everything down. So nice. the way it started was they had a ranking of the top 5 duos to watch. And the top 5 duos, the Jets were in there and the Dolphins were in there. Tua and the receiver, who the hell it was, and Zach, whatever his name is, Wilson, and their receiver in the top 5. So then I got upset with that. I'm like, that's impossible. How can you go through that? So then Byron and I went online and we looked at who are the power quarterbacks. Do you agree? A great quarterback can make a receiver look great. A great receiver cannot necessarily make a quarterback look great. Sometimes he can, but can't do it all the time. I mean, you could have Beckham catch and all that, but that quarterback can make a receiver look great. Is that a fair statement, guys?
Yeah. There's no way a receiver could make a quarterback look great. Kirk Cousins would be an all-star quarterback.
So that's one. Number two. So then Byron and I went through the quarterback ratings. It took us to the 13th quarterback, right, Byron?
Yep.
It took us to the 13th quarterback in power ratings that was on that list of top 5 duos. So back to our argument, if we agree that a receiver can't make a quarterback look good, how could any of those guys who are in the top 5 not be in the top 12 of quarterbacks? So that mushroomed into Byron putting different things together and so forth. And now that's where we're at. Okay. All right. So, and then we're going to get into the stuff that I got for you guys, especially Dallas. Washington's all right. But Dallas, a little bit more oomph in our game. And we like making fun. We like making fun of Jet fans and Dolphin fans, just so you know. Two fans we like.
They give you, there's so much ammo they give you though to make fun of them.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story real quick about that, right? Byron, tell him about Joe Caprara that was on the phone the other day. Jet, he's a Jet.
Oh yeah, that was an accident on purpose. We found out he was a Jet fan.
Right. Tell him what happened.
Just lit him up. It was about with Zach Zach Wilson. He didn't know that was like the last guy to sign.
Well, he knew it. He just didn't want to mention it.
And he didn't want to admit to it though.
So Aaron and Jeff, you guys coming on, if you come on a show and I know you're coming on, I may message you and say, hey, if there's any information about Washington, let me know. Any information about Dallas, let me know that you want to talk about. Does that make sense?
All right.
Yeah.
And okay, so I did the same thing to Joe Caprara, who's a guest host. He also has his own show on Saturday mornings, and we'll get that out. Great guy. He's been asking me to come on Friday. It's just been crazy. So I text him. I go, nah, I guess one of the coaches had passed away, right? Remember when that coach? He goes, oh, maybe the coach that passed away. I go, okay, great. I didn't think anything. So we get on the show, and okay, well, we started talking about the Jets, and Byron we didn't even get into the first topic. Byron, and I didn't know this. Byron finds out. He goes, you're a Jet fan? He's from Jersey. How can you be a Jet fan? He goes, yeah, I know. And then Byron goes, how can you still not have signed your quarterback? Oh my God, that was it. We tore him apart from that point on. Like, I sent you a note telling you to give me some information to talk about. Now you decide to leave that part out. Byron hammered him, right, Byron?
A little bit.
Well, he looked pretty good this week. All right, so look, Byron, here, I got this. Let's go into you tell me where you want to go, and we can go run into this. And these guys, I'll go around and get your comments. All right.
Let's start with the Dallas Cowboy guy. Let's let him throw this out here.
All right, we're gonna let the Cowboy go first. Especially
let the Cowboy go first.
He's got two things against him. He's a Cowboy fan. He's from Canada, so we're gonna let him go first.
All right. What's the question?
Okay, so let's go through the power rankings. Tell me what you agree, disagree. That's how we go, right? And we'll go through your first.
I'm good with the first four.
All right.
I'm good with the first four. Then that's when it starts getting muddled. What are the Rams going to be like? Is Matthew Stafford, and now they got Sonny, they got the Patriot running back, Sonny
Michel.
Sonny Michel. Thank you. I was drawing a blank. So how? I don't know. We got to see what happens, right? So okay. I think it's too soon. I think the Cowboys should be above the 49ers. Again, is Garoppolo going to stay healthy? Okay. And if he doesn't, is Trey Lance the guy that can take them up? I don't know. Pittsburgh's got a 400-year-old quarterback. Is Najee Harris going to be able to light it up? And, the Canadian Claypool is hurt. So, Arizona, I think.
No, okay. Let's hold on there. Let's go there because then it'll be long. Go ahead, Aaron. Give me yours.
Or where we're at with.
Let's start from the top. Let's start from the top two, right? So he was good up until 4, and then he started debating some of these.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the top 4 is on the money. There's no question with those. I'm in agreement with that. Mm-hmm. I agree. The Stafford thing is tricky. They've got the talent. If Stafford's healthy and they can stay easily there. The Ravens, that's hit or miss because you take out Jackson's running game, he's a bum. I mean, he's not the greatest passer. We don't know. The only thing he's a glorified running back at a quarterback position because his passing game is hit or miss. It's not Rex Grossman level, but it's not like I'm going to rely on him to carry the team passing if I can't run. Tennessee,
guys, just so you know, so I'm not being rude. When I turn, I'm responding to some of the messages that
we know.
Okay. Yeah, but it's coming in. All right. So I want you.
We know.
Gotcha. I am listening to you.
The Browns, I keep them there. Same with Seattle, but that's the type. Tennessee, I don't know because
especially now since they've been hit with all this COVID now, right?
Well, and Tannehill's down, so now that one is iffy. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh, I'd keep him over Dallas because yes, I get that their starting quarterback is an old timer that needs to is going to be done at the end of the season, but they do have potentially a quality someone to take over if he grew up over the season, over the off season. And Haskins, that's going to be a hit or miss.
All right.
You know a lot about
There's
Haskins.
no
So
there's no way the Vikings.
Let's down to your what the FT team. We think it's number 20.
They should be 18 at least. There's no I would put him at 17. There's no way they should be below the Vikings. The Vikings are a complete mess right now. Cousins is
I agree.
Cousins is
I
hitter.
agree with that.
There's no way Cousins is not going to carry them to the playoff. They probably, I wouldn't be surprised that if they're a 500 team this year. They've got talent at receiver, one receiver. They've got a running back. Their quarterback is subpar. He's a backup quarterback at best.
All right, Byron.
So
supplies. Good, Byron. Thanks. Sorry about that.
That's okay. The Patriots, I don't know because
All right,
Gonna be their-
hold
who's
on.
gonna be-
All right,
who's gonna be their
wait a
day one
second.
starter?
Let-
Is
I'm
Matt
gonna
Jones gonna
I'm
be the day one starter?
Byron, so time and Byron, you got any things that you would? What do you think about what they're saying, or are you going to stick to this list?
I'm gonna stick to my guns.
You going to stick to your guy? Well,
I'm gonna stick to it.
Well,
I got a question for you, Byron. I got a question though. Do you change Denver's spot not knowing who their starter is now though?
Nope. I still don't believe in Teddy Bridgewater either. You know, I
Okay.
think Drew Lock should have been the guy, but I guess you're going to go with a more veteran quarterback and see how he does. But
So what about Jacksonville's named their quarterback too though? So what about them? Because they're going with their rookie.
I like when I saw him. I watched the game a little bit, you know, with them. The only thing I had a problem was when he took off that run where he could have got lit up. He needs to learn how to slide. I understand you're 6'6", 235 pounds. You're a big guy, but you're not playing the ACC, SEC, and these guys are going to light you up when you run the way he does. You know, straight up and down. He didn't even think about getting down. So
Yeah.
leave them there. You know, he is talented. They do have good receivers, and I think that's a good spot for them for now.
What about the Patriots and Cam?
Oh, hold
being
on, it's
sitting
my
at home?
turn, man. Whoa. It's my show. I already warned Santiago. I'm gonna keep these boys in check. Let's not confuse the show. All right, number one, bullshit about the Giants being 24. So I'm gonna start off that way.
Oh, gee.
Now let me go.
I knew that.
Okay, let me just go. I think Tampa's over Kansas. You know how I feel about Tampa.
Yeah, I know you're
Tampa's
Tampa Bay fan.
unstoppable. They're gonna take it again.
There you go, Tampa.
Buffalo Bills, Green Bay. Let me answer your question about Rams. I love Stafford. Right, I saw him at Georgia. I saw him what he can do. He's a big boy. He's in a good system with good players. I think he's going to light it up. Okay, he's smart. I truly do believe that Stafford's going to light it up. Okay, I just think Detroit is a player killer. Like, okay, I think Miami is like the farm system for other NFL teams. So you go play for Miami, and they let you go, and you become a superstar at some other team. Wes Welker, Green, Tannenhill. I can give you name after name. So even Ted Ginn Jr. had a good season when he left Miami. But Detroit, they're player killers. Megatron, Barry Sanders. I mean, think of the players they've had, and they just kill those guys. Like Detroit is, I don't know why someone would go to Detroit. I feel bad for the guy they traded. Goff, what was he, Goff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Seattle, Cleveland. I'm also hit or miss with the Baltimore Ravens. So I got a question for Byron. Byron, when you say power rankings, explain the definition of power rankings, because I look at this as where they're going to end up at the end of the season.
But this is at the beginning of the season. You know, you figure who has like the best offense, defense, like the other list that we have. Kansas City, the top three are usually ranked, you know, as far as the best offensive line, the best defense, the best wide receiver group, best quarterbacks, and just mix. That's what I do. I just mix it all and just jumble it all together.
Okay, so I'm going to respond. The Baltimore, as much as I love Justin, Brady love. Billy Brown's calling me a Brady lover.
Yeah, you are. You're awful.
He's your boy, and he listens to you. At Cleveland Browns, I think they're a hit or miss too, though, because you don't know. It's like they played better when Odell Beckham wasn't there, and now Odell Beckham's back, and what's going to happen, right? So For me, I got to see the dynamics of Baker Mayfield with a Odell Beckham yelling in the huddle. Throw me the ball. Throw me the ball.
It's not going to be him. They're going to run the ball. They got Nick Chubb. They probably the best running back in football of top 5. They're going to run the ball, play action with Baker. They already have a dominant defense with Myles Garrett. They're good. The offensive line is a top 5 up. So don't be surprised if they knock off Kansas City this year too.
I'm okay with the global perspective. My problem was when I saw the games last year, I predicted they went like 6 games and Odell only had like 12 balls thrown to him. Why would you trade for a talent that good and not throw him the ball? I mean, I'm talking about thrown at him. Forget about catches, right? You got to throw the ball.
Yeah, but why would you force him the ball when you're running the ball well? And Nick Chubb is running the ball. They're running the ball and things work. Why force it to him just because he's Odell Beckham?
I'm not saying to force it to him, but I can't imagine out of the amount of plays these guys run, which we're going to look at, that only 11 balls were thrown in the first 6 games. That's a problem.
Well,
so that's just my opinion.
The defense is called.
I think Seattle, I'm not sure if they're good there because I think they got problems. I think Tennessee may be a little bit higher. San Francisco's a good team. Pittsburgh, I like Mike Tomlin. I mean, so for me, I'll take Pittsburgh anywhere because what Tomlin did 2 years ago with a 4th-string quarterback, you got to give that guy credit.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, hands down.
It's really difficult to go against him. As much as we say he's got grandpa at the quarterback, the brother proved that with a 4th-string quarterback, he went well. He did well, right?
Yeah.
The Cowboys, I definitely believe they should go lower. Arizona, okay, so I'll leave some of that stuff, the rest of it here. Just wanted to kind of go through the first talks. We can't go through all of them. I think the Jets, I think this is about right. So let's go to the bottom, right? I feel bad for Burrows, right? I just do because being there. I think Jacksonville's going to have a rough time because you already saw this poor kid run for his life. The Jets, even though Zach Wilson looked good, they're still just the Jets. Number 5 and 17 is all defense. At the Detroit Lions, they're disasters. And I believe the Houston Texans not only that's a great place to be, but I just don't like that. I think something is internally wrong with that organization. I mean, I think there's something that's just some bad something, juju, whatever's going on over there. I just think it's bad. So anyhow, that's my perspective. Byron's sticking his piece. Thank you guys for giving yours. But there's only so much we can do with all the timing that we have. Byron, where you want to go? You want to go here? This was an update to what you had here.
Here's the other one that I sent you today.
So this is
This is not the one from today.
This is not the one from today?
No.
This is all I got. Man, you're killing me.
Yeah, we were looking at that last week, right? The receiver combination.
Bring it all the way to the side, like to the right. Keep going. And then wait a minute. You're killing me. You just flew past it.
You know how to put an XL together.
All right. This is the one today.
I told you.
Yeah, okay. You got lucky.
Okay, so let me show you how to use an Excel. Okay, you see these blank friggin' damn columns here?
Yeah, whatever, man. I ain't worried about that.
There ain't no reason for them.
Yeah, okay. Well, guess what?
On the bottom. Yeah, no, there's nothing on the bottom.
Well, you can fix it early. You had it all day. Come on.
Oh, yeah, I got nothing else to do.
Yeah, me either.
Right.
There we go.
Go ahead. Let me fix this crap too. Go.
I even have the numbers, man. Oh, there we go. Now you finally,
What's the purpose for C?
This is the whole list. Say again.
Damn, disaster.
Are you making that up? Come on, man. Come on.
Aaron, they bicker more than you and I do when we're on stream.
All right, go ahead. So, what do you want to do? Go ahead, talk about Byron.
I ain't talking about you can't. I'm trying to unscrew up the where it says the quarterback one. You got all the quarterbacks on top of each other since you want to slide all over the place. There you go. Oh my God. Well, can we get Roethlisberger's whole name instead of just?
Man, the brother's got a long name. What's the?
We know who he is.
We know who he is. Time out. Let me ask you a question. If I did this right here, if I put Tampa Bay and Tom, do you guys know who he is?
But can we?
Okay, if I go Kansas City and Patrick, do you know who he is? If I go Buffalo and Josh, do you know who he is? If I put Dallas and Dak, do you know who he is? Damn, Byron.
Can you?
Hey, he's going to be this year's Super Bowl MVP.
I think there's a guy here that we don't know by first name that we need his last name.
You're chopping off people's names, man. Come on, man. Really?
Oh, the only thing we're not allowed to do is call Patrick Mahomes Pat. It's the only thing I can't chop off.
All right, this is the list.
His mom yelled at Stephen A. Smith, guys. That's
all right. Okay, this is the list I had. Like last week, I had it just a 16. This is the whole 32 with. If he'd let me go to the top, man. Come on.
You gotta tell me, if I gave him mouse control,
I have, whatever. I got receive, 1, 2, third receiver. Keep going. Come on, Victor. Bring it on over. Keep going.
See, another column we don't need.
Yeah, whatever. Keep going. You're screwing stuff up like usual.
No, I'm trying to just get rid of stupid columns.
I'll wait till you finish messing with stuff, man.
Yeah, but I wish you damn learn how to use Excel.
Hey, man, I'm retired. I ain't got no time to do all that stuff, man.
And you're retired. That's the whole reason why you should be able to learn how to use Excel.
Not really.
All right, go ahead. Look, I'm putting them all together. Go.
Why are you putting them all on top of each other again?
Relax.
Can you please separate the tight ends, man? There you go. Just don't touch anything else.
I'm not gonna touch anything else. Next time, fix the damn Excel. Go.
Can I see? All right. Last week, I have where it was just a 16. Here, okay. The quarterback, receiver 1, 2, 3, and then 2 tight ends on here. So, and then I listed, from the top group, 1 all the way down to 32 is on here.
Okay. So here's my point. You got the Tampa Bay and a power rating. Have a question. How is Ravens number 9 when they run the ball? Anthony Price.
Look, we're talking about receiver groups right now.
I got
That's
you.
what we're talking about. Let's fix it.
I understand it, but they should still be number 1.
Look at the receivers that they have. Lamar Jackson, the quarterback's Lamar. Then you have Marquise Hollywood Brown. Sammy Watkins is a good receiver that they picked up. Rashad Bateman is hurt right now. He had the torn groin. Mark Andrews is a great tight end. He's a top 5 tight end. And then Nick Boyle is also a very serviceable tight end. That's the way this is listed.
Okay. So here's my only problem though for me and then I'm gonna let our guest ask. Okay, we keep saying this is a quarterback league. For it to be a quarterback league, that means it's an offensive league. Because you can't have a quarterback league and not have an offensive league, right? I'm just kind of little bit debating, Byron, the fact that your rankings of receivers doesn't match your power rankings of teams.
No, and it's not.
All right, just make it a comment.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense because your power rankings include defense, special teams,
And
whereas this is just focused on these skill positions. Your power ranking, Kansas City, they're going to get Dr. Tardif from Canada back. He opted out last year. He was up here doing COVID, saving the country. Now he's going to be back. They didn't have him for the Super Bowl. Just saying.
You made
Sorry,
me nervous.
Aaron, is there any doctors on Washington?
You said doing code made me nervous for a second. All right.
Anyways, yes, I agree. I'm okay with Byron's. His power rankings are different. These are the skill positions, but your power ranking takes into account your offense, your offensive line, your defense, everything like that. So I'm good with you can have a special O-line addition. You can have the corner. You can have your fronts. You can do a number of things that we can do on other shows.
I have like the defense. I put that together. Top defense. I got the top offensive line. I got so.
All right, Aaron, what do you think, Aaron? Where you at?
I like number 8's the only one I have an issue with.
Yeah.
I watched them play all last season, and everything but the quarterback. The quarterback's the problem to put them in the top 10. Okay. Because he's not consistent.
But you do.
And now we don't.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
No, I was just gonna say, and now he's already said this season he refuses to get tested. So what happens if he gets exposed and then he's on the bench again?
He said he was going to take a second read of something. I don't know what he's going to read, but he said he was going to read something.
And well, the point is, if he's not going to get vaccinated, and he gets exposed, he's on the bench. So then what do? You hope for your backups that are going to lead you to the. I mean, and maybe it could be done. I just with Cousins behind I watched him in Washington. He was great 2 years, but they played to his abilities. Minnesota has never played to his abilities the way they did in Washington for 2 years to make him look like he was Tom Brady and then got the contract he did for Minnesota. I thought that was the stupidest move by the Vikings to sign him in the first place because I knew what he should never be a starter.
I asked Byron, I asked last week about Cole Beasley. Now look at Cole Beasley. I said, is he going to make the team? Is he going to be playing? Now he's sitting at home.
Really? Isn't that the son of the Beasley from Buffalo, right, Byron? We checked that out before.
No, BB.
Oh, BB. Oh, that's right. Here, my only thing is I think Tennessee is too high for me. I think they're going to run more than Tannehill has the ability. I agree with the Viking, like what you said about Vikings shouldn't be in the 8. That's just me.
Yeah, but why not? Adam Thielen has been a Pro Bowl receiver for years. Justin Jefferson, the young kid from LSU, look at the numbers he put up. Those two guys. And then the tight end is a very good. Irv Smith Jr. is a very good tight end. But I'm talking about as a receiving group, you probably could throw Mickey Mouse back there, the quarterback, and these guys are going to make these.
Yeah, like you said about the Bucks. I hear you. I'm kind of with Aaron. We just agree that receivers can't make a quarterback great. I think Kirk Cousins is not that good. No, I'm not doubting the receivers. I'm doubting the quarterback.
There are lots of videos on TikTok where they where you can mash up, you can take one video and then you can do, something beside it. Right. And then they always say, here, make yourself, throwing when Kirk Cousins throws you the ball. And every one of them is either overthrown in the dirt, in the bushes or whatever. Right. To Aaron's point.
Hey, somebody look up his power rating in Madden. That's all I got to tell you right there.
Yeah, go and watch the video of players reacting to their power rankings in Madden.
Well, I wouldn't put a lot of faith in the rating. They
exactly. Don't get Aaron and I started on Madden.
Prices the Green Bay is too low. Okay, but let me finish. Kirk Cousins, like I said about that, I still believe that the Cleveland should be higher. I just think Baker Mayfield's going to light it up. Ben Roethlisberger, Cincinnati. I'm not too bad about anything else here.
You said Green Bay should be higher?
No.
Yeah, that's one of our I'm reading the messages, right? So
yeah, but why should Green Bay be higher? They got one good receiver.
Because of Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly what you said before.
The same argument we're making against Minnesota is the argument I'm making for Green Bay.
Well, because they have one good receiver and one great quarterback.
Rodgers and making shit happen, then I do Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
We used to joke.
MVP last year, dude.
We used to joke when Tom was on New England. We'd say Tom and whatever 10 scarecrows they decide to put out on there. That's all they needed because he would get the ball to them. As long as they had half a body to catch something, they had exact reason.
Yeah, they had Gronk. Gronk was his go-to.
Yeah, but that's it. That's not a lot. He didn't have a lot. He had Julian Edelman. He had some pieces.
Yeah.
Look at Deion Branch. Where's he? He's a Super Bowl MVP player.
Yeah, he got old.
He didn't play unless Tom Brady was there.
Patriots don't want to pay people. Same reason they leave Pittsburgh. They get really well, then they don't want to pay them, so they go for the money.
So let me ask you a question. Speaking of that, you know how Brady don't say anything yet, Byron. Okay, you know how Brady has taken pay cuts. Why do you think Brady takes pay cuts? What's your opinion on that? Stay quiet, Byron.
We know why. So they can use that money to bring in other players.
Okay, boom. Aaron?
I was gonna say the same thing. He's done that before. Every time in New England, that was what he did.
That's not a secret. That's not a secret.
Okay, that's it. That's all I need.
Let's bring in the talent so we can. He wants a ring.
Time's up. That's it. Byron.
He's got a wife making $100 million.
Hold on a second. Listen to Byron. Byron, why does Tom Brady take pay cuts?
Because his wife, Giselle, is worth $400 million. He doesn't need that change that he's getting from his team. Period. Doesn't need it.
You guys know that? Did you know his wife's worth $450
million?
Oh, yeah. Well, who doesn't know that?
He doesn't need
I didn't until we found this out.
15, 20, that's Trump change to him. He doesn't need that.
He's 25% of his worth.
She wants to go back to work. She wants to go and do stuff. She's just tired of this little hobby that he's doing. She wants to go back to work. She wants to go back to work. She wants him to stay home with the kids. And
so guys, so Aaron and Jeff, so you could see where this started was Byron and I's frustration on a reporter putting like one quarterback with one receiver of the 5 duos. Not one of them are here.
Yeah.
Right. Not one of them. I think the first one is where is he? Oh, they even had Daniel Jones at like 6 or 7. They had 2 at 5.
Yeah, it was pretty high.
They had the Jets.
No way.
Zach Wilson at number 3. Who's the quarterback? Who's the receiver? It was Corey Davis. Byron?
Yeah.
They had Zach Wilson and Corey Davis, and then they had Tua with Devontae Parker. Or Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle. They had Tua and Jalen Waddle at like number 3. And that's what led to that's impossible. So Byron, first we did like one set, and then Byron went even further. He said, dude, it's a whole squad. Now, let me tell you something. In my experience over NFL, Byron, you got to admit, man, these teams got either the talent globally's gotten a lot better, right? Since your time and since we watched, or well, when you were playing, like it wasn't like these receivers are crazy, man. Look, I mean, the tight ends are all good. You got 3 or 4 tight ends that are good. The league never had that many great tight ends.
Yeah, but it's all starting in high school. They have all these, the passing camps, 7-on-7, and all these different. They got one big one in Jersey, and what I think Wildwood, where it's like 10 teams from all over the place. These kids are throwing it. They're not back in the when we played. It was smash mouth football. You ran the ball, and if you threw the ball 10 times, you were lucky. But now these guys got passing, passing coach, catching coach, this kind of coach, and it's just different now. And they just throw the ball all over the place.
Billy Brown goes, Byron, you're right. His wife makes the money.
There you go.
I agree with the other 2 guys. I think it's bullcrap. I think Brady. I think those guys at that level have an ego, right? And their ego is pay me. And that was the argument on is Colin Hurd? Is it Colin Hurd, Byron?
Yeah.
Right. So Colin Hurd, I was drinking a soda, and he goes, I know everybody says he takes pay cuts because his wife makes a lot of money. I almost spit it out, and I called Byron right after that, and he said that's bullcrap. The point he was making, because Aaron Rodgers was making all this comment about how Green Bay wasn't listening to him. He didn't like how they treated some of their players. I don't know if you guys heard that at the conference. And then, and Colin Hurd goes, yeah, but you always took the money they gave you. Like, you're complaining that they didn't take care of those guys, but you didn't give up any of your money to keep Clay Matthews or Woodson or any of that. That was where Brady came up. Okay. So I just wanted to give
but he was also, but Aaron, the result, not you, Aaron, the other Aaron. He was upset that some players that he liked, some wide receivers and stuff, got cut as well. So it's not just some of those big names. It was some other players.
He's the quarterback. He doesn't get to make that decision. He's a quarterback. He's a crybaby. He's a crybaby. When he doesn't get his way, he throws this little temper tantrum.
That's what Colin Hurd was saying.
I'm just reporting the news. I don't make the news.
I got to stand your ground, Jeff. Hey, look, the deal is, Aaron, is the fact that what you're saying, I understand, but Colin Hurd's point was and I kind of agree with him, is, first of all, Byron taught me a lot. It's a business. You can't keep the guys you like on a team. Right, Byron?
Nope.
Right? They got to either perform or not, number one. Number 2, maybe those guys, they were willing to pay them and you're complaining, but you took all your money they offered you. That was Colin Hurd's point. He was like, you wanted decisions and stuff, and you want to keep these guys, but you're not willing to come out of your pocket. And look, Byron, Sean Payton, when he took over New Orleans, okay, he took $100,000 pay cut to pay for one of his coaches. Okay, so he's not married to a supermodel. So there are players that are willing to do that to take, to do what they got to do, right? So now I want to get into some fun stuff with my boys in the NFC. Go ahead, Byron. I'm sorry.
Aaron Rodgers was trying to do what they do in basketball. The LeBron James, all the other guys, trying to make that power move. Like, you know what? I want to pick who I want to play with. I don't want, this is what I want. That's all that was about. And you see, but, he never turned down. Well, hey, you know what? I'll take a little less, so I can get this guy. I'll do this so I can get this. He never did that. Whatever the 30, 40 million, whatever they gave him, he took it happily. And
you're right. It's a business. And I always say this, I always tweet this out when someone's like, oh, they got rid of why they get it's a business. It's at the end of the day. Even Tom said this a couple of years ago in New England. He said they could get rid of me. It's a business. They could just flat out get rid of me. I'm expecting to get
and I like when I saw the Rodgers trying to get Clay Matthews on there, I totally agreed not signing him. Who do you have to cut? Rodgers doesn't pay attention to the business side. He's not the GM. He's not the head coach. You're going to have to drop some people that may be better talent. Is Matthews a star player that's going to be able to actually do something? Because the last I saw, the way he tackles is not allowed half the time. It's usually a flag.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he complained about Charles Woodson. Woodson was getting older too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Colin Hurd was making his point. It was like, out of the 9 players, maybe only 2 were justified. I go, that's not the guy I want you making decisions. And 7 of them were wrong. And then his point was, let's say of those 7, it was about money. He was saying, well, you took everything they gave you. You didn't give it back. So anyway, let me play around with some of you boys, Cowboys. All right, this is your preseason. You lost this game, you lost this game, and you lost this game. So we're crystal clear. Number 1,
it's the preseason.
Hold on a second. I got you. Yes, it is preseason. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We still don't know where Dak is, but let me go play around a little bit.
I know where the hell Dak is.
Byron knows. I warned them. Let's just go look how you guys did. All right. Yeah, 347 yards. That's pretty impressive. They had 250. That's pretty impressive. You lost by 13. Passing yards. You had a little bit more. Wasn't impressive. So your rushing was pretty good. You had 100 yards rushing. I'll give you that. You only gave up 6. 5.1 in here. Look at it. You had 19 first downs. They had 15. You had 7 of 17. They were 5 of 13. 4th down efficiencies, it wasn't a much. You ran 68 plays, right? So that's what I'm talking about. In 6 games with Cleveland, if you're running an average of, say, 60 games, 60 times 60, and they threw the ball 11 times, Odell, I'm sorry, Byron. That for a guy that talent, that's a low per time. I don't give a shit how much I don't care how much you're running, right? Look at the sacks y'all allowed.
You know it's preseason, right?
No. I didn't say that, but wait a second. It's preseason, but someone was talking about my Giants. So let me just do my stats like I did. It's preseason all you want. But remember, the other team should have been shitty too. You gave up 4 sacks, right? Look at it. It gets better. You got 2 fumbles. Look at the possession. The time of possession is almost identical. You lost by 13 points. I know you don't want to hear it because it's Byron and Dallas, but I just want to go through because I had to.
I agree with you on that.
Let me go here. You lost 19 to 16.
You are 100% correct. The 4th-string players that were playing in the extra preseason game that those 2 teams got, who are not going to make the team, you're right. They gave up 4 sacks.
I'm good with that. We're gonna keep going. I'm going to give you
the guys who are not going to make the team gave up 4 sacks.
I am going to share with you the consistency that it matches last year. Now look, let's go to the next game. We're not just messing with you, man. Come on, let me have a little fun.
All you haters are the same.
Let me have a little fun. Look at this one. 323, 325. Passing yards. He still had good passing yards. That's pretty impressive without Dak.
Preseason game.
He still lost. Rushing yards, 100s. Okay. Yards per carry, equal. First downs, equal. Efficiencies over there, okay. Total plays, 72 plays over here. Sacks allowed, 0. Pretty good. You have 4 sacks there. Impressive. Okay. Your penalties, 8 for 50, 3-5 for 35. That's a problem. Okay. Fumbles lost, 1. Okay. Interceptions, okay. Time of possession again, pretty close. You still lost the game. That was probably a good one. Hold on, I'm coming to Washington next. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm waiting.
No. I told you I was ready for today.
No.
Let me do this last one. It's my show. I want to have some fun. But they warned me, you boys were dogging me. Look at this.
It's a Cowboy, man. It's a preseason, man. It means nothing.
I don't care. Then don't be picking me 5 and 12. 213.
5 and 12.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general. First downs. Look, this is impressive. Look at all the first downs.
Game, man.
But the point being is, Byron, and you guys, no matter who's playing, when you're outdoing the team in certain areas, how do you lose the game? It's still a numbers game. You lost.
It's a preseason game.
Look at this stuff, bro. Look at the fumbles.
5 sacks.
No, look at the bottom number.
5 sacks and 3 picks.
Yeah, look at the bottom number.
5 sacks.
Preseason game, man.
I got you. I'm just saying to you that
look at the second.
This wasn't a preseason game. Timeout. These stats look pretty good. For a team that shouldn't have lost the game.
I'm stuck. They look back like
somebody's. I got a background something. Anyhow, so I just wanted to mess with you. Look at the time of possession. You guys crushed them in time of possession.
Look at the number above that.
Which one?
The one above it.
It's Simpson's throne?
Yeah.
You threw 3.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't know what my point being is, we don't know what's going to happen to Dak. And that's my concern. My concern is all the hype like last year. If Dak isn't there, he's got a shoulder problem. He's got a foot problem. Yeah, he's got all this hype.
No problem. You watch Hard Knocks. He's
control the ball for 10 minutes more than the other team. And you
go to the player stats. Can you go to the player stats?
No, because now I'm gonna mess with Washington.
Let's keep it real. Here, Victor.
Yeah.
Victor.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? All
right, I'll stop.
Offensively with Dallas, that's not their problem. Dak is going to be Dak. They're going to get there. Their problem is the defense. Can Dan Quinn come in and fix the defense? Where is Micah Parsons going to play? Is he going to be the middle backer? Is he going to be the weak side backer? Is Vander Esch, is he going to make it through a whole season? Is Jalen Smith going to play? Even though he's going to play because they gave him a ton of money. That's the problem with the Cowboys as far as the defense.
I got you. I just want to be prepared today for my 2 guest hosts, and I just want to put some numbers together.
Biggest problem for Dallas is the owner. That's the problem right there.
There's no doubt about that. Okay, but I just think that the biggest problem for Dallas is the owner and the hype that they have, and they put too much stock in a player that they over leverage themselves, right? So now you got Washington. Washington lost 2 games. Let's do the same thing. Here you go. Jeff, we can do the same thing here. I'm gonna do the same thing. I know you guys don't like this, but let's just look at the stats. All right. I'm just saying this is our conference. We're all conference guys, right? This is pretty impressive. Yep. Total yards, pretty good. Look at your passing, right? This is Washington. Fitzpatrick, I just don't trust him. The brother can play all good during the season, and he can't get you any farther. Okay, rushing 100 yards. Look at the rushing he gave up, though. Almost 200 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Patriots. It ain't like they got a rushing quarterback. Okay, 5.7 yards per down. 20. Look at the first downs. You outdid them in first downs. So I'm just going to the numbers that statistically, if you just looked at this and the starters were playing, your team should have won the game, is all I'm saying to you, right?
Yes, I totally agree.
That's all I'm saying, right? And then look, third down efficiency. They were a little better, but they had less chances. You had 12-20, so it's a little harder because you had 20 shots out of it, right? That means you did good. Fourth down don't matter. Total plays, 56. Y'all had 80 plays. You had 24 more plays. and you lost by 9 points. I understand. You can say, tell them, say hi. All right. So look, sacks allowed, 1-1 punts. Okay, penalties, 9 for 58. Dog, that's a lot of penalties. Your time of possession, you ran. No, that wasn't. Yeah, Washington. So you had 80 plays. You had almost 10 minutes of times of possession to lose the game by this many points.
Preseason game, man.
I wanted voice.
Is it not like we haven't? I haven't seen that before. We've controlled everything across the board, and we come up short.
Exactly. Okay, so that's
I don't get
something to come after the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington.
No,
now look. Now let me put the Giants.
Let's do this in the regular season. That's when it matters.
There you go.
You're right. And you're right. It's just when I found out, someone told me we're gonna go 5-12, and they were Dallas and West fans. I told them I was coming after them. So look here.
I never said you were going
to the Giants. Giants lost here too. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Let's see what they look like because I didn't bother with them.
I watched the whole game. They were
awful. Embarrassing losing to the Jets. That alone, I'm disgusted. So look, as much as I'm bothering you,
got a safety.
The Jets is embarrassing. You already won.
Safety.
I folded my cards. Just losing the Jets, I folded my cards. I don't care even what the numbers look like. All right. So look at this. This is terrible. 163 yards, right? But we should have lost. Got total yards. 100. I'm trying to show you that they played like shit and lost, and they should have lost. Right? And now you're gonna go back. Well, it's preseason. Well, shit. You guys put up the numbers. It's preseason and lost the damn game. There's got to be coaching.
Just so you know.
Yeah. Yes, Byron.
It doesn't count, man. It's preseason.
Okay, I understand that, but I just wanted
I
wanted to give a perspective. Let me finish here, and I'll let you go. I promise, Jeff. All right. So look, This is disgusting. Look at this: 58 yards. Now, the only thing I like, because our guys are running hard, we got 105 yards. I'll take 100 yards in a game without Saquon any day over. Okay. All right. We had 3.17 yards. Terrible. Okay. First downs. We had 11 versus 21. Third down efficiency. Disgusting. Fourth down efficiency. Disgusting. Sacks allowed. 5. That's Byron's. He loves that offensive line of ours. That's disgusting. Punts. Okay. Fumbles lost 1. Interception 0. Time of possession. Look at this. Almost double the time of possession. We lost by 6 points.
Preseason game, man.
I understand that, but I'm trying to be fair. I'm giving everyone perspective. If we didn't know who was playing and we looked at this stat sheet, I'm gonna go to Aaron first. At least he's seeing where I'm seeing. This on a sheet, no matter what, we should have lost this game.
Yeah, there no question.
So you can't
whether it was it doesn't matter if preseason or not. If this was a regular season stat line or preseason. There's no, you darn right you should have lost. That's complete garbage across the board. Minus the rushing is okay, but they doubled
your. They were terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but we should have lost. I'm trying to make the same argument on the opposite side of your two teams. That's all I'm saying to you, right? You can't agree with one and not the other. And the only thing you all agree with, and I agree with, it's preseason. That's all I'm saying to you. That I can't agree with. And with what do you call? That's the guy from that hat reminds me. What's the name? Orphendorf, the one you got on from the Harry Potter. That Jeff. All right. So look, Cleveland. We lost by 3. We lost by 1 touchdown here, right? Remember, you guys in both of your games, you guys had some high numbers, high stats, and lost by a lot more points. Okay, look at this one. I know, Byron, you don't like all this stuff, but I just had to go after it, right? Here's one. Here where the Giants at. Okay, stats. Here you go. All right, look. Now, look at this. 370, 308. Okay, a lot better. Look at the passing yards. Look at the yard. You're going to tell me, look at their rushing, but look at their passing. I'm just telling you that they're going to, Baker Mayfield's going to light it up. I don't care how much rushing you think he's going to do. That brother's ready to go. He was pissed last year when they were complaining. And he goes, remember I said this all the time. Baker Mayfield goes, I've never felt like so bad at being 4-2. I'm confused. We're like the worst 4-2 team possible. When in reality, Pittsburgh was the worst undefeated team.
Yeah.
Right? So now look at these numbers. Equal here. 120 yards. Again, I'll take that without no Saquon. 188 yards passing for a Giants. I'll take it. Right? Here, first downs 24. Here, 5 of 13, third down. That means we have more third down opportunities. Allow total play 63-59. This is pretty close. Sacks allowed only 2 versus 3. Punts 6 times, 4 times. Penalty 441, 6 of 30. You know, that's a problem. That's 10 yards. That's 5 yards, right? Fumbles lost 0-0. Interceptions thrown 1-1. Time of possession pretty much equal. We lost by 4 points.
It's preseason game, man.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. All I'm saying is the Giants, all 3 of our teams went 0. We had 0 wins.
Preseason.
And I'm gonna stop. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. Right.
I would like you to find me anybody in the world who cares about preseason wins and losses. Look at Detroit a number of years ago. They went 4-0 in the preseason. How did they do in the regular season? I'll give you a hint. So again, and so you're going on, oh, about this, I'll take this 100. Who was the players? So you on the Cleveland, the game against Cleveland, did Baker Mayfield play? Or if he did he have one series? You're like, oh, Baker Mayfield. These guys the starters are not playing. You're like, oh, they didn't do this on third down. Most of the guys playing, sadly, are not going to make the team.
Not going to be there.
Right? So, yeah, did they rush? Did they throw? Did they do this? No, that's why they're not going to make the team. Let's do this after each week of the real when it counts. That's when it matters. Okay. Now, you're right. Our defense was 31st last year out of 32. Dan Quinn only has to make them a bit better than last year, and Dak stay healthy. Again, if Dak had stayed healthy last year, we would have won the division.
Okay, we're good. You're done there. Your time is up. So now let me just. I'm gonna go to you now, Aaron. Okay, just remember, I never believed going into a season with an if. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2. I'm okay with what you're saying. I'm okay with the week, but I'm the same argument to you. All the Giants need is that offensive line to be 5 to 10% better. They're going to be dangerous. Go ahead, Aaron.
So Washington's going to be can be just as dangerous. We all know Terry McLaurin is going to continue to get better. The problem is by telling me if Dak was healthy, the Cowboys would have won the division. That's saying that's the same thing across the board. The entire NFC East last year was terrible. Just because the Cowboys win division, they'll still be at home watching the Super Bowl because that's what they do best.
Who won the division last year?
Well, I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember.
Washington.
All I'm saying is we can debate all day. I would love to see Washington in the Super Bowl, but I know that ain't going to happen. That's not realistic for this season. I want them in the playoffs. They have a shot. Hands down, they have a shot. I would place money.
Everybody in the NFC has a shot except for Philadelphia.
Well, yeah, the Eagles are going to be sitting at home. They're not going anywhere besides to cry another day. Dallas will do what they do best. They may start off great, but they're going to choke at the end. They had that problem with Tony Romo. Looked great on the numbers, and he choked right at the end when it counted. And they will do the same thing this year as they've done the last God knows how many years, and they will fail and not make it to. Even if they make the playoffs, they're not going to win. You're telling me the Cowboys are better? The Cowboys are better than.
So look, I'm going to be honest with you. Out of the teams that scare me the most is Washington. Because of your defense, right? That defensive line.
Young,
and listen to me, your defensive line going against the Giants' offensive line, we got a problem, right? And Byron's a defensive guy, and he loves Washington's defense, right? So, so I'm gonna wrap up with some of these pieces, but I hear you, and I'm okay with what you're saying, Jeff. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. But this is the whole point of having NFC East guys on here, right? We're gonna go at it. So I was so excited when they told me there was 2 NFC East brothers on here. But I had to come with some kind of stat. and I'll answer that after.
Preseason game, man.
You have a good point, Aaron, what you're saying. Washington scares me the most in the NFC. They scare me the most. Byron, go ahead. Byron, go. Now you
Byron, go. The Washington Redskins scare me the most because they have that front four defensively. They're by far the best defense in the conference. Dallas, if their line, they're not getting hurt like they did last year, and they put them on a pitch count.
If
Of course, that's what everything. But if Ezekiel runs the ball, then they're going to be fine.
And he doesn't fumble.
That too. But then we can't talk because we got fumbleitis in the back too. Danny Dimes. Who else?
Okay, Danny Dimes, yeah, but that was your boy. Remember, I got pissed when you guys pulled Eli, so I don't want to hear nothing about that.
But anyway, they picked him, and the offensive line they still have not addressed the offensive line. I don't care if it's the Eagles; they're going to have problems. Eagles still have a good defensive line. The Cowboys have a good defensive line. The Washington Redskins they're going to have problems.
So do the Giants.
Address the offensive line.
I'm out. So do the Giants. Let's keep them all. The Giants don't have a good defensive line?
They're number 2 probably in the division.
Okay, but so number 2 out of 4, they got a good defensive line. I mean, come on, right? Number 1. Number 2, that's where I go back to all we need. And I ain't saying if, I'm saying all we need is like last year. If that line, we need that line to improve. And I believe Jason Garrett is a player. I think Jason Garrett, he is, you could say what he want. He wasn't a great head coach. And I think you guys may or may not agree. There's been a lot of guys that were great offensive or defensive coordinators that just weren't great head coaches. You understand? But when you put them in their offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator position, they lit it up. Spagnuolo, Wade Cook, Jason Garrett. I can go on and on and on. You know what I mean?
Greg Williams, Wade Phillips.
Todd Bowles on Tampa Bay.
Exactly. So I'm just saying to you that's where I'm coming from. So again, Washington scares me. One, they won it last year, so they got a smell. Fitzpatrick. It's just his problem is getting to the playoffs, but he always performs during the season, man. He just does. Look at the numbers I just showed you on his passing. Well, maybe it wasn't him. That's it. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say, did Washington win it or did Philadelphia lose it?
I don't give a
Washington won it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, who was in the top? Giants and Washington are 1 QB away to be great. Anthony Price.
But if Philadelphia had won the game instead of taking out Jalen Hurts, they would have won the division. They wanted the better draft pick, so they pulled Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
True or false?
That's a possibility, but everybody was
could have been. I don't know.
But let me tell you the difference, though. Once Washington got in, Byron was on that bandwagon, and people were scared of Washington, even though they had a losing record, because that defense was ravenous. They were good. So no matter what you're saying, it may be true, may not. All I'm saying to you is that Washington was feared going into the playoffs. Yes, Byron?
And
go ahead, Aaron.
I was just gonna say they were. Look what they did. I mean, they made a game against Tampa Bay. They had a very good shot at beating them. I don't know if they would have gone all the way, but the fact that it was that the score was that close, they gave them a run for their money. That I don't think anybody thought that it was going to be that contested of a game. I think everybody thought going in Washington was going to get blown out because of Brady, and they put up one hell of a fight.
As an NFC East guy, we weren't. We knew our defensive line scared me, right? Scared me, and Byron was in love with the Washington.
And I still am in love with it.
He flipped. Byron, show him your phone, Byron. Come on, let's show the brothers your phone, man. Come on.
Oh, y'all killing me with this, man.
Show your phone. Look at it. Beat me up, Scotty. Look at beat me up,
Flip phone.
All right. So look, before we wrap this up, first of all, I want to thank you, fellas. Did you have fun?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. You know I'm a little fired up. You know how to bring. You didn't know it, but
Just get off the Preseason mess,
The
man.
guys who know me knew. Santiago knew I was coming with heat.
Preseason mess.
I understand that. But I just want to make this, and you guys can either say, yes, screw it, Victor, it's preseason, or okay, you have some valid points, but it's still preseason, or you're full of shit, or you're full of you know what, and it's preseason. You got those three options, okay? All I'm saying to you is that in the games that I demonstrated to you, let's start with the Giants. The Giants deserved to lose that game, but they were close, but they still played terribly on paper with their fourth stringers, with everything.
Most of those guys aren't going to be on this team.
The other two teams lost both of their games, okay, but their numbers were way better than their opposing team
against third and fourth stringers.
Okay, the argument is stats, man. The guys are trying to make the team. They put them up.
You want to argue?
I'm done.
I'll let you go. Wait till the Patriots and Giants play the third game on Sunday when most of them are going to play till the third quarter. Then you'll be able to judge it a little bit better because Danny Dimes is going to play till at least the third quarter. And
we're going to win that game.
It's a preseason game.
I'm calling it right now.
Who cares?
Oh, see, that doesn't matter what I say.
It don't matter right now.
Aaron, I'm going to let Aaron go first because I already know what Canada's going to say. Aaron, again, let me just premise it. All I was saying is on paper, regardless preseason or not, Giants deserve to lose, and they lost by a very small amount, even though they got their butts kicked. The other two NFC East teams put up some pretty good numbers, had some faults with fumbles or whatever the deal is, but they lost by more than the paper showed.
I agree with that. I get it's preseason, but I still agree. If you're take away the fact that it's preseason, you just look at the stats on the paper, both of the two teams should have won. If we're looking just at stats, we're not worried about the fact that it's preseason, regular season. If I looked at the stats, I would have thought I should have had those games won. The Giants, no question, they should have lost those. They were complete trash.
About 27 of those guys are not even on the team in about 2 weeks.
But there was more than 27 guys playing the damn game. You don't put up that number of guys that are going to get cut.
I was just going to say, you can't look at one thing in isolation. You're just looking at stats. You're not looking at who the players were, who were they facing. That's like saying, when we talk we talk COVID and they're like, oh, this number, that number, it's a single number. It doesn't tell me anything. I need to see a whole lot of more things to round out to say, should they have won? Should they have lost? Why did we lose? Ben DiNucci, that last game, threw 3 interceptions, including a pick 6. If he hadn't have thrown those, we would have won. Again, a lot of ifs, but I'm just saying, will he make the team? I don't know. Will he be the backup? I don't know. Right? So again, but he was also the fourth
starter. You don't know.
He could be. He was starting. He started last year, right?
So again, I didn't say he's going to start. My question is if you will have a starter. Okay, so look, this is how I'm going to wrap this up. I think we're in the Brady Bunch box of squares. We're in the Hollywood squares, okay? And half of us agree with our stats, and on paper, regardless of what it was, the numbers that ended the game shouldn't have been those numbers. The other half don't give a crap that it's only preseason and that's it. So I call this a draw.
Do you think the coaches are trying to win?
No, they just want to evaluate players. That's all they're doing.
I think the coaches are trying to evaluate players, right?
They could care less who wins. That's why the league got rid of overtime. If the league cared about winning and losing, they wouldn't have gotten rid of overtime in preseason. They're there. Teams go do things that they would never do because they want to try something. You know what? Let's try going for it on 4th down, or let's do this 2-point conversion, or let's try this other thing because that's what it is for.
Uh-oh.
So you're telling me that every player that plays in preseason, none of them want to win? They just go out there and play touch football? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I didn't say that.
You can't tell me that every player.
No personal attacks, just opinion.
Oh,
no personal attacks. Apologize.
I'm
sorry.
No
They
personal
tried-
attacks.
Preseason is for evaluation.
This is a legitimate debate.
Evaluating players.
Everybody's right and everybody's wrong.
Two things: evaluating the players and putting shit on film so that when they go to play who does New York play first? Who does
Denver.
New York play in their first game? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Denver.
Okay. So
That's a win.
whatever. That's not my point. My point is they want to put stuff on film so that way Denver goes, oh, look what they did in their preseason game. Oh, we better spend some time, even though they may have they've ripped that page out of their playbook, but it's on film. And now Denver is going to spend time looking at that and trying to dissect it and waste time doing it. That's why
Good stuff.
they do that.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's good stuff, Jeff. Byron, go ahead, Byron. You're shaking your head like a bobblehead. Go ahead.
But
What?
it's the truth, though. All of it, yeah, they're evaluating players. That's all they're doing. And look what a lot of these teams that went to, where they have dual practice. The Giants are playing New England on Sunday, but they've been practicing with them all week.
So let me ask you a question, though. So then, to Aaron and my point, right? Statistically, the Giants should cut everybody that played.
No, because
Everybody. Because they played like
I'm
shit.
gonna tell you,
162 total yards.
Victor, listen to me. When I played back in the day, and we had the preseason games,
Hey, that was leather helmets, no?
Yeah. They didn't care nothing about, as far as wins or losses or whatever. They had film on you from practice. They had film on you, because some people are better in practice, or are better in the games than they are practice. Some people are just great practice players, but then to get the game, they suck. They just look at the film to evaluate. That's all they're doing. They could care less the stats or all this other stuff. They're looking to see you in a game condition.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, right? So I still believe. I believe with me and Aaron on what we're looking at. But honestly, I had to find something to attack Washington and Dallas. That was really the whole point. The whole point of my exercise was hunting something. Like, what else am I going to attack right now? It's all preseason. All I'm going to do is talk smack about either Ryan Fitzpatrick, because I like Ron Rivera. You understand? I like Ron Rivera. I don't like McCarthy. I don't like Jerry Jones. I don't believe in Dak. I think Zeke is a great player, but he's a fumbleitis brother. So, I'm just saying to you that I was like, okay, where am I to get? All right, let's see how they did. Trust me, if I went into this at preseason, because I didn't really know whether you guys won or not, and that stuff looked good, I can guarantee you I wouldn't have brought it up.
How many years did any of your quarterbacks lead a team to the playoffs? We'll start with Fitzpatrick. He's been in the league 400.
Our team's Eli.
16 years. Fitzpatrick.
Oh, what position does that guy play? I'm sorry.
Oh, Fitzpatrick's never been to the playoffs.
Never.
No. You sorry. What name did you use?
I said Eli, but I thought you meant. I guess.
Is he on your roster? Is there an Eli on your roster?
No, I didn't understand the question, so I got it. Danny Dimes knows. None of our quarterbacks. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
And how?
But is it?
And how far has Dallas gone?
I asked how many.
They've had two superstar quarterbacks back to back. Tony Romo, superstar, big numbers. Dak has put up big numbers. How many of them went to the NFC Championship?
Is that all of Dak's fault?
No.
That wasn't the question. You asked us which one of our quarterbacks have been to the playoffs. Our answer was 0. I'm asking you an easy question. Is it Danny Dimes' fault? Is it Brian Fitzpatrick put up crazy numbers at Buffalo?
What he did and look what he did in Miami.
And in
With Miami.
So then I could answer the same question. Was it his fault? So my question to you is, Dak is better than Fitz. Danny Dimes, as everyone asked me about him, look, to be honest with you, Giants have never had great quarterbacks, but we got quarterbacks that are either smart, don't turn the ball over, and let our defense take over and run the friggin' ball. It's smash. The NFC East is about big football. grind it out, crush you, except for Dallas, right? But Dallas will try to crush you running if they can, right? But NFC East is smash mouth football. I mean, nobody's really gone in there and lit it up like these other.
Not like the AFC, not like the AFC North, but
my point being that was it. That's why during the time back in the day when San Francisco was winning, it was either San Francisco and NFC East. Think about who won the Super Bowls. It was San Francisco, the Giants, the Dallas, Philadelphia, or Washington.
All I know,
it was never Philadelphia back then.
That's right. That's right.
All I know is the best thing about either team. Dallas Cowboys, Drew Pearson, University of Tulsa, went into the Hall of Fame.
Jersey boy,
and then Dean Hamill played for the Washington Redskins. That's one of my teammates. Dean Hamill and Steve Gage played for the Redskins, and both of them got Super Bowl rings.
All right, so look, before we finish this, I thought this was great, guys. Did you enjoy the show? Did you enjoy today?
Hands down.
Did you enjoy, Jeff?
Definitely.
Jeff, did you enjoy?
100%.
Okay, great. Byron,
We'll come back anytime.
All right, awesome. So look, but I want to, I got to end it with edging Byron going. Byron, why are you going to bother me, man, Antonio Brown? What do you expect? He's not. I thought if he got kicked off of a practice that was only Tampa Bay, then I'd be concerned.
He's going to be the reason why.
But he got kicked. Hold on, he got kicked out of practice playing against an opposing team.
He's going to punch somebody in the head, man.
Against an opponent, yeah. But the brother's smart. Listen to me. How many dumb freaking football players try to hit each other with the helmet on? Tony Brown was smart. Take it off, and he got a shot in. Football players fight with no shot.
And what did it cost him?
What's the number one thing they teach you in football? Never take your damn helmet off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay? He took his helmet off and got a shot in. I give Antonio Brown props, number one. Number two, you don't know what that guy's talking to poor Antonio Brown. Dumbass, you gave up $60 million. Brady took care of you. I mean,
living Brady's.
When you're playing against, come on, Byron, when you're playing against another team, especially, look, I was a D-back. When you're playing against a receiver, we talk so much smack. It's great. That's the only thing we can do to get that receiver who's faster than us off his game.
I wouldn't know. I never played that far back there.
No, but yeah, you ran 4 yards and got tired. You had to freaking run 60 yards.
Yeah, that was too far.
Yeah, you went 5 or 6 yards. Right. And look, the receivers got breaks. Defensive backs don't get breaks.
Oh, are you finished complaining?
But I'm just saying that you gave me crap about Antonio Brown. I still believe in the brother. I believe Brady's always got him under control. And I'm just saying to you, when you told me, and I'm like, oh, man, really? And then I looked up. It was against an opposing team.
I know.
I mean, I can't imagine you now fighting against an opposing team. By the way, Bruce Arians, you've made me such a big fan of this guy. They're telling, the statistics are showing he's going to light it up. I didn't realize how much of an offensive coach he is. And then with Byron Leftwich, I didn't realize Bruce Arians was that much of an offensive coach.
He's been around for decades.
They all have, but I didn't know
he really has been around for decades.
Yeah, I know. By the way, Byron usually wears his Kangol hat on. Just so I don't have a Kangol hat on. Well, gentlemen, look, I just want to bring that up. I think we're getting excited. Season's getting started. We'd like to have you guys back. And don't forget, besides just talking about the NFC East, we do like making fun of the Giants and the Dolphins. So, anytime we can take a poke, at the Dolphins or thing. But now the difference with the Dolphins, I don't poke them too much because I like Brian Flores. I think the Dolphins done a good job over the last couple of years. But I've been here for 20 years. You know how hard it is to be in a city for 20 years and never like a team. Like I was a Knicks fan, now I'm a Heat fan because of Dwayne Wade. But to be here for 20-something years, their draft picks were terrible. Every time they release someone, Adam Gase, me and Byron.
It sounds like it sounds like you're talking about the Wizards.
Adam Gase, me and Byron are convinced that Adam Gase got pictures of either the commissioner or somebody somewhere. You don't understand how he can get jobs. I mean, I have no idea how that brother got a job. Number one. Number two, I like the Dolphins. It's just Dolphin fans make me laugh because they're so 1972 or they're Dan Marino. It's like, dude, you guys.
That's all you get.
You know how far, and then you know how far, and I was like making fun of, except for my boy Andre. We won an Andre Gisbert. He's actually not a Dolphin fan, but he's from down south. He actually works for a sports analytic team, and he'll give you some really good insights, right, Byron?
Yep.
I mean, like stuff that Byron didn't even know that they have today, which is pretty interesting. Like, the difference between how the combines were ran this year because of COVID compared to combines regular. They're on their own home field. They're comfortable. They can perform better than being herded into a crowd and being.
And that's why some of the top players would not perform at the combine. They waited until their pro day, where it was more easier. It was scripted. Yeah, they might run the 40, they might not, right? But a lot of the top guys, some of them did. Don't get me wrong, some of them did, but some of them elected to wait till their pro day, right, Byron?
Yep.
I mean, I'm impressed with Canada knowing football, man. That's impressive. Man. That's right. They got the Canadian League.
Oh.
Well, the Canadian League's pretty badass. Warren Moon played there. Doug Flutie played there. Their distance is a lot farther. Remember, Byron, remember running Hurricanes and used to make me run Hurricanes? Byron coached me in college. Remember Hurricanes? Okay, Hurricanes, you have to run, like, you know how to run basketball suicides? Well, Hurricanes are basketball suicides from sideline to sideline. If you run suicides, Hurricanes in the Canadian League, that probably a lot wider.
Wider field.
It's a wider field, man. That thing's long.
Oh.
So, hey, gentlemen, I hope you're okay with my little aggressiveness and me having some fun with you guys.
Yeah, you're just wrong.
That's okay. It's all about opinion.
I would have been shocked if there wasn't coming out of Watson's team. I know it's hard. You actually have to dig for stuff now. It's not the Dan Snyder era that runs the team into the ground with bringing has-been washed up players like, the McNabb era and all these other bums that they brought in.
When you're 34 years old and you're a billionaire. Right?
I know, right?
You bought the team at 34.
20, I know, 20 plus years, and look, we still haven't accomplished.
34.
The only thing we've accomplished is he finally learned. After crap ton of investigations and stuff, he's finally learned. He's done the one thing that Jerry Jones will never do, and that is let somebody actually run his team and him just sit back and watch. Because we know Jerry Jones. The day the Cowboys actually accomplish something is when Jerry Jones passes away. Because until he relinquishes it, you're never going to be that good.
They ruined Dwayne Haskins. They put him in too early.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. They also ruined RG3.
Yeah,
and because they should not have put him in the playoffs. The injury he had. They destroyed his career. They ruined Haskins. I mean, that was just and I understand. He wasn't the one that Rivera wasn't the one that drafted him. I get that, but it was just a messed up situation. But I agree they messed him up just as much as they did RG3.
And
that's a great point about Philadelphia. That's a great point about Philadelphia and Jalen Hurts, right? That's not the new coaches. It's not his guy. So yes, he's inherited them. Yes, he may give it out. But if he's not his guy, it's not like, Urban Meyer drafted Trevor Lawrence. Robert Saleh drafted Zach Wilson. They're now together. They're going to live and die together, right? So I could see something happen in Philadelphia because, again, to your point, it's not his guy.
Yeah, I know there's a quarterback available. They could just bring in Tebow.
Byron?
I hear.
Wow, Tebow.
Oh my God! Hey, look. So, you know what's sad, real quick? I mean, this is a great show. We've been a little longer than we need to, we're supposedly scheduled for. But the one thing that bothers me about the league is the guys are making a lot more money, but look at the quarterbacks. Those great quarterbacks, they were patient to put in. Unless something happened. Okay, Aaron Rodgers waited 4 years. Okay, Marino didn't play until like the 10th, 11th game. Mm-hmm. Okay, I mean, you can go one. Alex Smith wasn't good in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
right? He made a crazy comeback. I mean, it's not that easy to be a Joe Burrow or look at Ryan Leaf. What a bust. He was the perfect prototypical quarterback.
Yep.
Right? Look at all
I would throw the best one. Look at
Andre Ware, all those guys that came out of Utah, right? I mean, I just think the quarterback position is not like a running back or defensive player that can just come out and start. It's not.
No, look what happened to Jamarcus Russell. I mean, I'm not really. I mean, that was.
He took the money and ran.
Yeah, but he just took his money.
What'd you say, Byron? What'd you say?
He took the money and ran.
Yeah, that was a different.
So did Boswell.
He went to the Raiders. He went to the Raiders. That was the first mistake.
You want to talk about taking money and run? Brian Bosworth. That dude.
You know who?
He got an insurance policy, and they paid him. If he got hurt, he would get paid. He made more money in the insurance policy than he made in his payroll for NFL.
Yeah,
I can knock the Washington because we did the same thing. We brought in Deion Sanders. What did he do? He retired at the end of the season, then came out of retirement the next season to play for Baltimore because all he wanted was the money that Washington paid him.
Get Bruce Smith too. Bruce Smith too. Double them.
Dana Stubble. I mean, the list. I could go on with the list of people we've had. Dana Stubblefield, Albert Hainsworth. That was a disaster.
Hey, but let me tell you, you mentioned Dow Green. I was a D-back. Dow Green was awesome. That dude ran like a 4.3. And
the only one that came from one side of the field to the other to take down Michael Irvin.
Yep. Well, yeah. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to finish the show. Stay on. So we always like to finish it with Gary Sinise Foundation, which is for first responders in our military. So please, can you do me a favor too? One, subscribe to our iTunes channel, especially because you guys are on it, right? So if you have an iPhone, get a podcast, share this with your friends and so forth. Tell them to come on, get some meetings and so forth, because you guys are definitely going to be on during the season, right? And then let's keep expanding and entice the other brothers from other divisions, right, where we can bother them, right? Or at least they better be prepared, right? You guys were prepared. Right, because we're gonna come at you, and you know I'm coming, right? And if I don't come after you this week, and you said something, I'm coming after you next week. And contrary to Byron's me working his damn spreadsheet, I will do my stats if I'm tight, right? But I ain't gonna be fixing his spreadsheet every week either. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up, and this is what we do. So we honor this, and this is really deep. Actually, this is a foundation that Byron brought to my attention. Andre Gisbert worked intimately with this organization. Just so you know, Byron served, his family served, my dad served.
We have another Victor. We have another guy sitting there too. Aaron, he served as well.
Aaron did too. Yeah. I can see the Army hat. Aaron, where'd you serve?
U.S. Army.
Oh, awesome! My dad's 20-year vet, Bronze Star. So thank you for your service. I didn't serve. That's one of my
cousin. My cousin was 20 plus years in the Air Force. My grandpa passed away, but he was Marine Corps and World War II at the Battle of Iwo Jima, the Korean and the Vietnam. So he was 3 wars and then he retired.
My dad was in Korean and Vietnam. So this is about soldiers. So even if you tell our friends $1 or $2, we always try to promote it at the end of our show. Is that okay, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the deal. So this is here. Let me get it going. All righty. All right. So again, we always like to end our show with the Gary Sinise Foundation. Freedom and security are precious gifts that we as Americans should never take for granted. We must do all we can do to extend our hands in times of need to those who willingly sacrifice each day to provide that freedom and security. While we can never do enough to show the gratitude to our nation's defenders, we can always do a little more. Gary Sinise, that's his words. It's Gary Sinise, SINISE foundation.org. Any dollar counts, anything you can do. By the way, this is also for first responders. So Byron, maybe you want to elaborate on first responders?
Police, firemen, nurses, might as well include doctors, all the people that risk their neck, during this crazy, COVID thing, people that had to get up and go to work, every day, and while we sit home and enjoy these freedoms.
Yeah, and you saw the crazy stuff that's happening with police and the service and so forth. So, you know, pass that on. We always take, we're prideful that we end our show with that every week.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
My condolences to the families of the soldiers that were killed, today, during the, that senseless attack that's going on over there in Afghanistan. These poor, Marines. I think it was like 11 Marines, and one Navy corpsman, were over there. These guys, they didn't know this was going to happen. And they were doing this, to protect, the people, that were over there, the Americans over there, to get them back. So my condolences are going out to, all of their families.
Don't let me get political on this show. So
no, don't.
Yeah. But anyways, gentlemen, we ended with that. I just want to say thank you for joining. You guys were fantastic. I think we need to enjoy the debate. And the one thing about the NFC East, we're still the worst of the best, right? So, but as long as one of our team is in the playoffs, we don't give a crap, right? Think about it. What was Washington? It was a losing record, and they were in the playoffs. We're gonna take it. I don't care what anybody says, right?
Yep.
I am telling you right now, my Giants are gonna go 10-7.
Oh, geez, stop it.
Byron, what was your number? You changed it. Wait a second. I got it written down.
7-10.
7-10.
I told you I'm for 7-10.
Which one is it?
7-10.
Okay, so you flip-flopped again.
I flip-flop again. 7-10.
Okay, 7-10. What was the number you said before that? 10 and what?
10-6. 10-7.
You said 10-7. See,
I changed my mind. The opposite line has a bit of dress.
Let me tell you something about Byron. He taught me something that I don't use. Deny, deflect. I got that, brother. If you see one of our past episodes, he told me last year the Giants were going to go over. They were going to win a game. I go, are you crazy? So we started our show with over. We had a whole crowd coming on the phone. It was hilarious. So, gentlemen, again, this is awesome. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on your show. God bless you. Stay safe. By the way, just so you know, I was in the hospital recently. My son's there right now. And we're talking about first responders. It's bad in Florida. I mean, he was like in an emergency room for a long time. It wasn't that major, but he had an abscess in his throat that it gets infected. So they actually had to go in and do some stuff. I don't want to talk about it on the phone, but he's good. I was there when he finished. I rushed here to come do it because I didn't want to really do it from over there. But man, you should see that it took so long to get a bed. It took so long for, it was bad, right? And Florida is just exploding right now. And we were doing so great. And I don't know if you got your vaccine or not. I was against it. Byron knows it from the get-go. I was waiting till like Castro came in and like made me come and get it, and I don't know what happened, but something in between before all this explosion came and I saw the Delta, I go, you know what? My whole family has it. For me, I guess I wasn't really worried about COVID for myself. I was more worried about having it and being the smoking gun to pass it to someone that passes to someone that affects that person. Does that make sense? I didn't want to be the cause of someone else being affected or some of the family being affected. So therefore I went and got it and now I'm vaccinated, right? So I just promote it. I think people should go get vaccinated. I was I don't ever take a flu shot, but this seems
you're being political now.
Okay. No, I'm being health conscious and giving my opinion. Political would be me saying crap about Biden. I didn't do that.
Oh, don't start me on that one. I could go for days of
we can do a political show if we want to, but this ain't all I'm saying is I'm advising.
You get the views, that's for sure.
I'm getting advising people to get the shot because it's affecting the Delta. So far, what they're saying is 90% of the cases are now coming in for people who didn't get a shot. That's a problem. Right. So
if you do a political show, I'm out because I don't know much about U.S. politics. So I'd have to tap myself out.
Yeah.
I got nothing
to politics.
But you can be involved in it because y'all pay a lot of damn taxes over there.
That we do.
See, you can jump in every once in a while.
Jump in anyway because I'm in Florida. We don't pay state taxes, so I'm good. All right.
The only thing I pay is outrageous gas
God bless
prices.
you guys. Stay safe. Hey, Byron, man, he's showing us up with all his cowboy stuff. We gotta show.
I got stuff. I'll bring it next time.
Nah, we gotta show. We gotta show him. Vanda's gotta come on.
I got stuff over there.
They go look.
By the way, Byron.
Yeah, but you can go out and buy. How I'm not breaking out a bunch of WTF nonsense. If I'm gonna showcase stuff, it's gonna be some old school stuff, and I'm sure I could dig that all up.
He did say WTF, right? I just want to make sure he said WTF.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah, well, we know what the real name is, regardless of what. Regardless of what. Regardless.
He didn't say WFT. He said WTF.
Regardless of, well, that's because that's what it is. Regardless of what Snyder wants to change it because they forced him to by taking away names and basically the money talks. That's what cost it. They were always going to be known by one name.
All right, Byron, when next time we have these guys on our show, which will probably be soon because this is a good show, we got to come out with some giant stuff. Or I need a picture of Vanda because Vanda got like everything.
No, Sonya is the one with everything.
Oh, I thought Vanda said she could
Well,
outdo
her too, both of them.
Those are his sisters. His sisters, by the way, his sister Vanda, Sonya's youngest. Vanda and I graduated high school together. Byron was a senior when I was a freshman. But his sister and I are close, and she served in the military. She's badass. And man, they got more giant stuff than I've ever seen in my life. And then his sister Sonya, she drinks more wine than I've ever seen anything in my life either. All right. Thank you again. I know it's been long. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show. You got hot with that Jack Cowboy shirt on, didn't you?
No, we're going to end it. And I just want to make sure that I'm properly branded. Aaron will tell you that there's very few times I'm not properly branded. So
what's Jeff? What is that?
That's my YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. It's my, my name.
What is it? What is it? If I go there, what is it going to teach me?
That's my Twitter handle. That you got.
You'll watch him play some sports games from yesteryear, showcasing how the Cowboys might be good.
Exactly.
He said he's like an expert Atari player. He told me.
Hey, Aaron has spent many a video playing retro games. So.
Oh, you guys know each other?
We do.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, awesome. All right, B, you good?
Good.
All right, God bless, guys. Stay safe. Thank you for joining our show. We have fun.
For having us.
Santiago's yell at me because we're almost 2 hours, but this was a great show, and we got some of our boys. We need Billy Braun. Wait till you meet Tony Cash. We need Mark. By the way, one of our Cowboy fans is Mark. Say his last name, Byron, because I can't say it.
Horrorluck.
Harlow.
Mark. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, we hang out at all the Cowboy get-togethers online. Oh yeah, I know Mark.
Okay, his brother's bad.
He's a former. He played at Clemson.
Went to Clemson, national championship. Went to the Army. He's an Army Ranger. I mean, he's like Jason Bourne.
Just rooting for the wrong team.
Jason Bourne is easier to pronounce than Horilic, right?
Horrorluck. Come on, man. Horrorluck.
Don't mess it up. And he's from our same town, from Manboy. So, all right, gentlemen, God bless. If you need anything, stay in touch. Remember, please tell people, share the show.
We do.
Go Jersey Boys, spread it out to your people. Podcast, iTunes, leave us a rating, and we're going to want to have you guys back on, okay?
Love to.
Sounds
Anytime.
good.
All right, God bless.
All right. Good night.
All right.